going on, you guys? Jeremy here. Just last day, just about to head out from the villa, but we're out here in Greece. Some of the boys. I got asked to host a workshop for 14 other online entrepreneurs. Everyone's doing anywhere from 6 to 7 to even 8 figures here. And so I ran a 5-hour workshop just going over ads and whatnot. But just want to kind of share some of the key insights and takeaways that I learned from kind of being here. So there were 15 of us. It's kind of like a frat house at this sick villa in Greece for like a week. Lots of fun, but also lots of insights, lots of business stuff, and really just kind of expanded my perspective, because this is the first time I've ever kind of done anything like this, where it's just like we all just meet up. Everyone's kind of in similar yet much different industries too. A couple guys building software companies. One of the guys is like a media buyer, so he runs ads for e-commerce brands. He spent over like 85 mil on ads, and I learned a lot from him. And then just kind of like performance coaching, mindset, leadership as well. Our head of security was in the British Special Forces for like 12 years. He's got stabbed 9 times, and he's lethal. So it was really cool kind of picking apart his mindset and just kind of hearing his perspective on things. But I'll give you guys a bit of a tour as I'm talking, just kind of thinking out loud, maybe introduce you to some of the boys. Half the guys left. We also got a tennis court and a volleyball court too, which is nuts. But there's the man right here, Barney. What's happening, my friend?
Hello.
Say hello to the YouTube channel.
Hello, Jeremy's YouTube channel.
So Barney put this whole thing together and got everyone out here. So I appreciate you, dude. And it's been a blast.
Many more in the future.
Absolutely.
Queensgate,
that's right. So if you guys want to be a part of something like this, here's your man. He's the man. There's Cornel. He's from Belgium. But yeah, anyways, let's get into it. So one of the biggest things for me was just kind of like seeing how all these other guys approach their lives and businesses. And it was really cool, just kind of expand my perspective. So one of the main takeaways that I got was I'm just thinking I'm playing way too small. I haven't really been doing, I've been doing okay, but just kind of seeing like it's very humbling, just kind of being part of the crew here and just kind of seeing what some of these other guys are doing and just kind of like their long-term visions, getting a bit of a taste of what that's like, and really just helped me realize I've been playing a little bit too small. And with new levels come new devils, and there's been some things that have been kind of holding me back, and I'm kind of like conscious of them too, which is really interesting. Like, for example, increase my ad spend. I just increased the daily spend limit on my ad account, thankfully. So doubled or tripled my budget this week, which is cool, and calendar's already packed. So if you're watching this, hopefully there's some more spots. Anyways, yeah, one of the big things is like kind of thinking 5, 10, 20 years out, right? It's really easy, especially with like a coaching business, to just kind of think in terms of like short-term cash flow. And don't get me wrong, it's incredible. Like, my margins are disgusting and make a lot of cash, which is great. But what's next? What's the bigger play? Like, some of these guys are talking about building companies and then selling them for like 10, 20, 30 mil in a couple of years, having these big exits. And I was like, can't really do that with a coaching business. Especially because it's so tied to the personal brand. But yeah, that was kind of one of the main things, just like, what's the longer term vision and who do I have to become in order to actually achieve that and make that happen with ease? Because if I had all of these skills, the character traits, and the beliefs that I needed to be doing the numbers that I want to be doing, to be making the impact that I want to be making, to have the program that I want to have. And don't get me wrong, like I said before, everything's going very well. Everything's going extremely well. Very fortunate and grateful to be kind of in the position I'm at right now. I know a lot of people would kill to be here, but I also know that like I have a lot more potential too that I haven't really tapped into. And like I was saying, new levels require new devils, or at least require you to overcome and conquer new devils. So basically what that means is like the thought of spending 10, 20, 30 grand a month on ads is it's very scary. It scares the shit out of me, right? Because it's very uncomfortable. And what that is, though, it's my old identity just grabbing my ankle, latching on, and trying to pull me back down. And if I continue to let that happen and let it do that to me, then I'm never going to grow, right? I can't. How do I grow if I got this old identity, old Jeremy grabbing my ankle and pulling me back down? I can't, right? So even though it's like very uncomfortable and one of the scariest things, and that's just one example, but it's also like I also know that that's exactly what I need to do if I want to get to that next level, right? One of the other things that I've been putting off for a long time, making excuses about, is increasing the quality of my content. If you look at my Instagram, like the quality is kind of dog shit. And just like 5 months ago, I finally bought a mic after like 2 years of making, like taking calls and making videos and stuff, which is kind of crazy. So before I left on this trip a few weeks ago, I actually spent like 10 to 15 grand on a whole new home office setup. All the other stuff is kind of hand-me-down. My laptop's like 7 years old. It's getting really slow. Sometimes it dies. And I was just using like my iPhone as a webcam and kind of just like a shitty mic. So I just balled out and decided to invest in myself, because I think by not doing that, I was kind of subconsciously telling myself like I was scared and that I didn't really believe in myself that I could do this, right? So that's one of the other things. It's like kind of, and one of the guys, Rowan, he's a leadership coach, and I learned a lot from him in his workshop the day before mine, just about how to carry yourself and how to lead yourself, and that will translate and reflect into how you lead your business and your team. And I know that like I owe it to my team members to show up as good as I can, right? It's not about me anymore. It's no longer the Jeremy Pogue show. It's the Summit Acquisition show. And what that means is I have to be my best and show up as my best every single day, especially on the days that I don't want to. And that's really what it comes down to, is like, are you doing whatever it takes, especially when you don't want to? And I think at the end of the day, that's just discipline, right? It's a skill. It's like a perishable skill that continually needs to be refined. And if you don't show up to serve your clients and your team as best as you can, then you don't deserve to have clients or a team. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. It's very easy to take it for granted too. So that's one thing I've kind of been being very conscious about, is just kind of staying detached, and it's not about me anymore. I need to just kind of sacrifice and serve, and then later down the road that's going to pay off. So yeah, those are a couple of the main takeaways. I'd say another one would be just like, I need to do more of these. I need to meet up with more people. I said this is kind of like the first one that I've done, but I guess like when I was working for another coach in the space, Trey, the four of us linked up a couple times for about a week, got some sick cribs in Seattle, Indianapolis, and stuff like that for Trey's wedding. And the in-person energy is just next level. It's so different. You pick up on so many like subconscious things, and just like things that you can't really do over Zoom, that you can't really get and whatnot. And then I hosted a mastermind, I guess, in January in Vancouver. Rented a sick mansion in West Van. A bunch of the guys flew out. But yeah, really just opened my eyes. I need to invest more into myself. I need to get out of my condo more often and experience life a little bit more, right? Because on the one hand, it's like, yeah, we do need to sacrifice the short term, but we also need to enjoy the journey. We need to enjoy the process, because I know I think we all have this like very specific goal that we want. Like, oh, I want to hit 100K a month. I want to do X amount, whatever. I want to build this company up and exit it. But then it's like, okay, you do that, then what? Right? It's like you celebrate for a day, you're happy for a bit. Nothing really changed. You know, like nothing's really that different. So I think that just puts everything into perspective. It's like you work, I don't know, like 1,000, 2,000 days in a row, building up to this one point where you hit the goal and you're happy for a day. It's like, well, instead of being happy for that one day, why don't we be happy and enjoy the process for those thousands of days leading up to it? Because we're never going to get these days back. And even though we may be getting dragged through the mud and kicked in the teeth a little bit along the process, like, that's the fun part, because we're going to be looking back on this one day and it's like, man, it was all worth it. You know, it's like, those are the good old days. I look back a couple years ago in my parents' basement, just grinding with no money, no income, no real clue what the hell I was doing. But I just knew that one day it was going to pay off. And I look back at young Jeremy, and today I'm just trying to make him proud. So it's yeah, I'm gonna make some more videos. I got a lot of reflecting to do. I've taken so many notes here, and it's been very cool, kind of like being a student, and it's very humbling. And I really like that, because it's easy for me to kind of let my ego get in the way sometimes. And I recorded some videos like a month or two back where you could tell my ego is getting a little inflated, and I don't like that. So yeah, it's kind of being the dumbest person in the room is very good. So when I get back to North America, I'm going to be making a much bigger effort to actually do more things like this, meet more guys in person, because it's just next level, and it just does something that you don't normally get, which is really cool. And I think everybody needs to experience something like this. So I've been talking to one of my buddies, Brandon, and we're thinking about co-hosting a live event or a mastermind sometime this summer. So that'll be North America, maybe Mexico, maybe a little too hot for that, I don't know. But stay tuned. Would love to get some of you guys out there and just kind of like rent a place like this, hang out for a bit, and have some fun, talk business, and take it from there. But that's a wrap for this video. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot more reflecting over the next couple weeks. Off to Croatia tomorrow, meeting up with a client from Germany, and we're just going to hang out together for a few days too. And he's been crushing it, so we're going to record an in-person live interview for the YouTube channel. Started from scratch just a couple months ago, and he's signing clients almost every day now, which is insane. So it's really cool to see that, and just kind of helping people completely shift their perspective and their entire lives. So yeah, but I'll be recording a lot more videos with some of the other insights and takeaways from this, but those are just a few I want to do right now. So that said, see you next video. Bye.